We are just hanging out this evening at Coronado Springs. Mark Allen's actually never been here. I've only been here for like 2 seconds. I know we kind of left you guys hanging with our big move.
Yeah.
But we did make it and we are here. So we're going to just share a little bit of that story because that's a whole thing.
We've officially been here 1 month. We moved here just over a month ago.
Yep. So you ready to go wander around, see what there is to do here?
Yep.
All right.
So as we just mentioned, we officially moved to Orlando
From Kansas
a month ago. We've officially been here 1 month, which is mind-boggling to think. But we wanted to tell you a little bit about the story of moving and all of that process, what we learned from it, so that, I don't know, maybe if you're planning to make this move,
you don't make the same mistakes we did.
Yes. So a little background, it took us 2 days to drive here. We did the U-Haul option just because that was the most affordable. The whirlwind of actually getting here, a lot of you, if you follow us on Instagram, probably saw that process was a nightmare. And
so we were moving with the cat, and that was our biggest anxiety and worry because he does not like the car. And to be honest, he did not do well at all. We did have some medicine for him, and it did help eventually when we could get him to take it. But the hard thing was that he wouldn't always take it. And so he would freak out, and that was not great. And so I had every intention of driving our car, and then Mark Allen would drive the U-Haul. But we ended up having to switch like an hour in because the cat was
her
parents.
Her parents helped us move too. So
my dad ended up driving the U-Haul, and I was very thankful because the cat basically took my whole attention the whole time.
Yeah,
that was big adventure number 1 of trying to deal with that.
That first day, we got a call from our apartment, and by that point that we had gotten that call, we were hundreds of miles away from Kansas. We were multiple states away by that point. When we got that call, they said that our apartment smelled really bad of cigarette smoke.
And they didn't want to lease us the unit. And I was like, well, we already are on our way. So they're like, well, we have this other unit, but it doesn't have the den office space, which our unit has like this additional, it's not like our additional room. It's kind of more like a little bonus space. They call it a den, but it's basically my office. And if you followed on Instagram, you've kind of seen a little bit of that. And so they had this other unit that did not have that space. Instead, it had like a patio, which would be fine, except we both work from home now. That wasn't going to work. Our stuff would not like fit in that unit, and I would literally have to sit on the bed in our bedroom to do work, and that was not okay.
Right.
So I was like, is there any way that we can like tour both of the units and then we can make a decision for ourselves? Because your girl's already like having a meltdown at this point because the cat was already a lot, and then this was like icing on the cake. And they're like, yeah, we can do that, but like it smells really bad. And I'm like, okay,
which
cool.
they weren't wrong. Like it smelled really bad.
It did. It smelled very bad. But the thing is that we were very frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was pretty ticked about the whole situation, just because they knew we were moving. Like this had been like a whole month-long process. So the fact that they weren't telling us this until 2 days before we were supposed to move in was really frustrating. Long story short, we did tour the apartments. We ended up with taking the one that smelled like smoke because there was just no way that the other one was going to work.
We had to.
The smell is a lot better. It is much better. We have done a lot of work to make it a lot better. So we are thriving now. It's still a little stinky, but like it's much more bearable than when we first moved in. So we are happy that we're here. It was a very rough start, but now we get to have amazing evenings like tonight where we just gonna chill at these beautiful places and talk to you guys. So let's wander out around a little bit more, and I think we might have something fun that we're gonna do later. We went to Instagram and we asked you guys a few questions, we asked you to ask us a few questions about the move. So I'm going to answer a couple of those. First one is, have we said very many times that we should have moved sooner? And I am so glad that we moved. I do wish we could have moved sooner, but honestly, I think the timing actually worked out pretty perfect. I think financially, we honestly really couldn't move until we did that. That all just like fell into place exactly how it should have. But I think the timing actually turned out just right. How difficult was it to find a rental in Orlando? So this is kind of a weird thing, I would say. The thing about Orlando is that it's very popular and a lot of people are moving here. And so with that does cause some complications. The first one being Mark Allen's job. A lot of places, a lot of like apartment complexes won't necessarily look at you if you have an out of state like employer. And a lot of employers, like Orlando employers, won't really look at you if you don't have an Orlando address. Lucky for me, I already worked at home, so that wasn't a big deal, but Mark Allen was not at the time, so we had to find him a remote job because that was just going to be the easiest thing with moving. And luckily, again, that all kind of just fell into place. So that did help a lot with that aspect. Now, the actual like availability aspect too, that's a whole other thing. We probably had a list of about 50 different apartments that were kind of like shortlisted that we were looking at, and then we narrowed that list down to about 20. I think we ended up calling maybe about 5 to 10, and we got really lucky that the one that we really wanted was the one that we got. But it does go to show like it's still really good to have lots and lots of backups, because as you can see, sometimes things don't always turn out the way that you plan, but lucky for us, it did work out pretty well. What you doing?
Shuffling. Everything himself.
Do you even know how to play that?
What?
Do you know how to play shuffleboard?
Nope.
You having fun?
Yep. I wish there were rules posted over here. I don't know where to start. Just in this box?
I don't know.
I did it. The next question was, how close do we live to the parks? We're not going to be super specific of where we live just because of safety reasons and the internet, and you never know what people are going to do. But I will say it's about 10 to 15 minutes depending on what park. So, I mean, realistically, we could go every day if we wanted to and not have to spend that much gas.
Now, if you are here on vacation and you are like, how did they get to go to that resort when they're not staying there? Well, you can resort hop. There are some limitations and some rules and some weird things, but the nice thing about that Coronado is you do not have to be staying here to come and park and enjoy the amenities. Right. Granted, you can't use the pools because you're not staying here. That's like rule number one. But you're totally allowed to come and eat at the restaurants and shop and walk around and just enjoy kind of the pretty things that this resort has to offer.
Not every resort will let you do that, though.
Yes.
The deluxes are pretty notorious for not just letting you willy-nilly park there.
Well, and I say it depends on the resort. Usually the ones that are like within walking distance or really close transportation to the parks. So those are going to be like the monorail resorts. So like the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, the Contemporary, and then the Epcot resorts, which is Beach and Yacht Club and the Boardwalk. They are not going to let you park there unless you have a dining reservation, and they really prefer your dining reservation to be like soon, because if you have like you show up for rope drop to go to Epcot and you have like a dinner reservation at Beaches and Cream, they're going to be like, yeah, no. So I mean, it depends on who it is. Sometimes they let
Yeah.
you in, but generally just know if you're trying to do that as like a hack to try and not pay for parking or get better parking or whatever, I don't recommend it. But if you are wanting to go to Port Orleans French
Yeah.
Quarter and get some beignets, you are
Yep.
more than welcome to do that. Now also do remember, if you're using Disney transportation, the sky is the limit. You can go to
Yep.
whatever resort you want. It doesn't matter if you're using Disney transportation. We just live here now, so we have our car. So it's a little faster for us if we can just drive here.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're here on vacation and you don't have a car, you are welcome to use Disney's free transportation to get to any of the resorts that you want, whether you're staying there or not. Because there's lots of things to enjoy and see and do. Like shuffleboard.
That lasted approximately 30 seconds.
We didn't play shuffleboard. I just videoed him doing shuffleboard because we don't know how to play that. Tonight we decided we are going to give Three Bridges Bar and Grill a try. Now, something to know about this. Some of the restaurants require reservations. Some of them require you to join a walk-up list. Since this is kind of more like a bar and grill, they require a walk-up list. You can do this in the app or you can do it in person. I recommend doing it in the app if you can, just because sometimes it's a little easier. But just be aware if you're coming around a busier mealtime, your wait time is going to be a lot longer. For example, we got here probably around 6 o'clock and we joined the wait list, and just for the two of us, it was a 75-minute wait. It's about 7:30 right now, and he said it should be just a few more minutes. However, when I was at my house, it said that it, like right before we left, it said it was only like a 10-minute wait. So I bet if you come a little earlier in the day, it's not as bad. So just be aware that if you are planning on dining at some of these places, it can sometimes take a little bit, but that's why you join your virtual walk-up list first, and then you go walk around and do all the things. One last thing to know about the virtual walk-up wait list is you do have to be at the resort. So usually you have to be somewhat in the vicinity. So if I was in the parking lot, sometimes it won't always read. Sometimes you do have to be like in the resort in order to join those walk-up wait lists. So just be aware you can't do it like while you're in the park, do that sort of thing, because they do want you to be close enough that if they do call you quickly, you can get there quickly.
We've made it to our table, basically next to the water. It is quite chilly, as you can tell by the flame thing. It is 61 degrees, so layers are key. So I'm very excited. We started off with some nice drinks, got some water, because I think we are gonna try to go to Dahlia Lounge and maybe get some drinks there after dinner. So for our appetizer, we started off with the corn dip, and it looks really good. Smells really good. Oh, that's really good. Nice and creamy. It's actually a lot creamier than what I thought it would be. You got that nice char from the corn. Yeah, it's great. I ended up I was stuck between the steak frites and the burger. And our server said that this burger is one of the best on properties. So, we'll see. Nope, no pickles, so I'm good. It's pretty good. It's very juicy. Very juicy. I'll give a final verdict at the end because I'm not very far into it.
I got the poke bowl with tuna. Poke, if you don't know, is basically like if you were to take sushi and put it in a bowl. That's the best way I can describe it. So it is raw fish, but this is like my favorite food on the planet. I love poke bowls, so I had to get it. It's so light, refreshing. The fish is very fresh. They have like pineapple in there that gives it a great sweetness. And then the rice and the edamame are really nice for a little bit. Gives it a little bit of weight. I love that. It's so good. top of Gran Destino Tower, which Gran Destino Tower is at Coronado Springs. I got the Berequito. It's coffee and alcohol, and it's really good. Yeah, that's so good. There's almost a little bit of nuttiness, but it's very sweet, but it's not like a super sickly sweet like a Starbucks drink, but it's just sweet enough. This is perfect for an after dinner little drink.
Okay, for my drink, I got the Alla Prima Manhattan. It's basically bourbon, quintessentia, no idea, vermouth, maple syrup, and orange bitters. So I wanted something just a little bit more classic. I thought about getting a coffee. We'll see. It's pretty good. The orange, I feel like there's too much orange bitter. Yeah. I'm going to try Kayla's because I'm a coffee connoisseur. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so smooth. You can't. These are dangerous. I mean, you could almost like it's small enough to where you could like shoot it.
Don't you shoot my coffee. That is mine.
But the alcohol is almost like you can't really taste it. That's very dangerous. Time for a fun fact, and this one's a big one. So the whole tower, Gran Destino Tower and Dahlia Lounge, is all based on Walt Disney's friendship, I guess if you will, with Salvador Dali. So the two of them partnered together way back in 1945 to do a short called Destino, hence the name Gran Destino Tower. But because of the economy during World War II, they never actually finished it. Unfortunately. And so in 2003, Destino was actually released. Walt's nephew, Roy Disney, the son of the other Roy Disney, Walt's brother, brought back a bunch of animators to finish the short. It does contain a bunch of the original John Hench animation, but also some current modern day animation at the time, and they ended up finishing it. So the cool thing about Dahlia Lounge is that you'll see the 7-minute short running basically on a loop in the bar, basically. And so the cool thing is you'll see all these dandelions throughout the bar, you'll see all these bells, and those are all reminiscent of the short.
Whoa. Over here. Yes. These elevators are scary. They don't have buttons on the inside. They're pretty though. I don't like elevators. Oh, my ears popped.
The first floor.
Well, I hope that answered some of your questions about us moving to Orlando, and you had fun hanging out with us.
If you got more questions, you can of course put them in the comments.
Yep.
What did you think of your hamburger? Because I don't think you ever had a conclusion
Oh, right.
of that.
I think it was okay. It was just okay. The fries were the best part of that dish. The fries were fantastic, and I think if and when we go back, which we'll go back, I think I'm gonna get the steak frites. I kind of kicked myself for not getting those.
It's okay. My food was delicious, and my coffee was amazing.
My drink ended up getting better. I did stir it, and that helped a lot. Which I should have just done that to begin with, but oh well. It ended up being pretty good. I will say it was pretty strong. I will say that the drinks are very, strong, so you do get your money's worth.
Mine wasn't that strong, but mine was only $8, so it wasn't that bad. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed following along on our fun adventures tonight, and I hope it gave you some ideas of some things that you can do if you decide to resort hop during your next vacation. But that's all we have for you guys today. Now go create your ever after.
Stop recording me.
Are you picking your nose?
No, I'm itchy. My allergies. I will say that was one thing I learned. Florida still has allergies.
We are going to eat at there's my nose from here, sorry. Okay. Tonight we decided we are going to try out 3 Bridges Bar and Grill at Villa Del Lago, right? Yeah, Villa Del Lago. Oh, I got it right.
Yeah.
Via.
Not Villa.
Oh, you're right. It is Via. Okay, I'll try again. I'm cold.
We're not gonna give specifics.
Specifics.
We're not.
Specificities.
Specificities.